This is Atul starting. So on behalf of National Youth Wing, I would like to extend my warm welcome to all of you. So as we know, National Youth Wing is one of the integrated part of MSSI. MSSI had been registered and a non-profit organization which was established long back since 1985. MSSI vision is to work for the welfare of the people affected by the multiple sclerosis. So today's session is to celebrate the International Youth Day, which falls on the 12th August every year, week every year. And the topic of the today's session is accessibility, removing barriers, and creating possibility. Our goal is to shed light on the challenges faced by the people with disability of the MS, discuss the way to create a more inclusive and accessible society. We have a panel of distinguished speakers who will share their knowledge and experience with us. To get started, I would like to invite Sanket to introduce the National Youth Wing. Sanket has been an coordinator of the National Youth Wing from its inceptions. Over to you, Sanket. Please start.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Atul. First of all, good evening, everyone. First and foremost, a very warm welcome from MSSI's National Youth Wing. And if you all were wondering why we were not holding any of online webinars for almost, I think, 9 months now, I think during which we were working on the strategy of more the merrier. So as of now, MSSI National Youth Wing has around 60 plus members. And from now on, I think you can expect one online event every month. And as you all know that, MSSI NYW, that is the National Youth Wing, it works on national projects in 4 distinct categories. One being the awareness, second being the advocacy, third being the livelihood or skill development, and fourth being the fundraising. So now we are going a step further, and I would also encourage all my co-existing MSPs, not only you invite your co-MSPs, but also your friends, brothers or sisters to join our MSSI National Youth Wing as volunteers. And we have to only have, keep in mind, we have to fulfill only 2 conditions. Number 1, the age of that candidate should be less than 40 years. And number 2, he or she should be a registered MSSI member to any of our 9 chapters. Now with that, I won't take much of your time and hand over back to Atul for hearing our eminent speakers on the occasion of the International Youth Day with the theme on accessibility. Thank you. Over to you, Atul.
Amit, Kavya is not here. So can I request you to be the first speaker? Or Kameshwari is here. Let's go with the Kameshwari role.
Yeah. Thank you,
Jyoti, you introduce Kameshwari, correct?
Sure. I'll do that.
Yeah, perfect.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's my privilege to introduce Kameshwari to you. Mrs. Kameshwari Rao is an accomplished accessibility professional at Google, dedicated to leveraging technology for people with disabilities. She previously held roles at IBM and Wipro Technologies. In her personal time, Kameshwari enjoys audiobooks, crocheting, and plant care. She is married to Mr. Kiran Kumar and currently serves as the president of Rotary Bangalore Ability, an inclusive club where 90% of members are persons with disabilities, focused on community service. Kameshwari, over to you.
Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. And I hope I'm visible clearly.
Yes, you're visible, Kameshwari.
Thank you so much. And so, first of all, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity for speaking at this wonderful platform, and a warm welcome and a hi to everybody on this Sunday evening. It's not warm here, of course, it's raining cats and dogs. So, accessibility is a topic very dear to my heart. being a visually impaired person myself since birth, I have had faced to face a lot of challenges during my studies and um, also while looking for a gainful employment as well. So initially, I was not pulled towards accessibility. I was working as a service coordinator with IBM. But then slowly, when I looked upon the opportunities which were presented back then, it was around 10 years back, and accessibility was just beginning. Career in accessibility was just beginning, and a lot of people were interested to pick it up as one of their um, you know career prospect. So that's what even I did that. And before that, I was also involved in week end activities, such as, we used to have apps like Taxi for Sure and other applications which were used by people on a daily basis that were not accessible to be used by ourselves. So that was something which pushed me towards accessibility and to choose it as my career. So today's topic, which says accessibility, barriers, and creating possibilities, I would talk about barriers which I feel are really important to be handled, especially by the youth, and what are the possibilities I feel can be taken care of, so that we work towards a better and an accessible world. So, the first point which I feel is a barrier is the awareness itself. How many of us know that we use web or we use digital content in different ways? So there was a time when people didn't even know that people use digital content in different ways. Everybody feels, yeah, since I use a mouse, everybody else uses a mouse to access the digital content. And when they see other people using keyboard, they're really surprised. So the first and foremost barrier is the awareness, the lack of awareness that people have different ways or different devices and different assistive technologies to use digital content. The second most important barrier, which I feel, is the misconception that accessibility is only relevant for persons with disabilities. So, when we actually pitch a project for making it accessible, we are asked questions. Um, uh, Questions such as, we don't have people with disabilities using our apps, or we don't have people with disabilities using our products. So why should we make our products accessible? So this is where we give a real life, scenarios where we have people who are senior citizens, or we have people who are temporarily disabled, who've met with an accident or some such unforeseen circumstances where they have limitations for a time being. So in such cases, also we do need accessibility considerations to be handled in such a way that the content becomes more accessible for them. Another question which frequently comes up when we talk about accessibility is, it is something to be done as a add-on. Once the product is completely finished, that is when we add accessibility. We just take care of accessibility, just the last minute things, and a few check boxes to tick, and go, oh, hey, we have become accessible. So that is not what accessibility should be. It has to be baked in from the start, from the inception of your project, and it has to be planned well in advance. So I always give this example. Say you're a coffee lover, right? So you're given coffee in a cup, and you're given 2 spoons of sugar separately. Would you like to drink coffee separately and eat sugar along with it, or would you like it, both of them to be mixed together? And which option would you choose? This is a question to all of you, if anybody would like to answer. Would you like to drink coffee separately and eat sugar along with it, or would you like it to be, both of them to be mixed in?
Definitely both of them to be mixed together.
Yeah. So that's a very straightforward answer, right? So accessibility is very similar to that. So if you add a few checkboxes to your product and say, yeah, this product is accessible, it will never be 100% accessible to people who would use it in a productive way. It has to be blend in from the start and has to be planned from the inception stage, as I mentioned. Another misconception or a barrier which I think people feel is when you take care of accessibility or when you make changes to your code or to the application, the look and feel of the application becomes compromised. So that again is something which we regularly fight against. So we tell them some of the accessibility, the problems which we face. They have such simple solutions. For example, the labels and color contrast and color combinations also. If you take care of them from the start, the look and feel of the application doesn't have to be compromised. It will be if you actually add a few fixes here and there just before launching the product or just before releasing the product. So it again depends on how you blend in the accessibility solution from the start. Again, people come back to us and say that accessibility solutions are pretty expensive and they're not economic, or they're pretty um, extensively costly. So that again comes back to the same point which I made just a couple of minutes back. So it is not at all costly if you add it along with the product from the right stage. And there have been instances where websites or applications are exclusively designed separately for people with disabilities. And so in such cases, we have a problem of maintaining two separate versions of the same application or the same website. In such cases, definitely the cost of maintenance will go quite high. So we always suggest and we always go back and fight for that, saying there should not be an exclusive application or a website designed to be used only by people with disabilities. Whereas it has to be a proper solution which is inclusive and which is used by each and every individual. And solutions have to be baked into the same website or the product itself. So these are few barriers which I feel you know um, hinder accessibility on a large scale. It all comes back to the mindset. And the small solutions which people can adopt on a daily basis, which you can see around yourselves. So, say how many of us do share photographs on a daily basis on our WhatsApp status or on a Facebook page? Almost all of us do, right? So, why do you think there is an option to add a caption to it? Earlier, it was not there, but I think later on, an option automatically appears once you start sharing a photograph or a video or something to add a caption. This is to make sure that you add a simple information or a few words about your photograph or a video while sharing, so that people who cannot see, they can also enjoy the photographs or the videos you're sharing. So they do get an information about what the video or photograph is about. So such small things can add meaning to the information, to the content, digital content you're sharing. Now, the point comes that how can youth be involved in making our digital world more accessible? So we have been talking about this quite often for a long time, that our education system or our curriculum, engineering or wherever the computer education starts, we should start including the best practices of coding. So if I just mention a few of them, use proper color contrast from the start, and say the heading tags which we use, which highlight the heading levels on the page. Do not use them just for aesthetics, but they are there for a certain purpose. So understand the purpose of each element. So, for example, you cannot use radio buttons and checkboxes, uh, and you cannot exchange them for each other because they do have their own purpose to serve. So understand the purpose of each element. Why do you have links in place? Why do you have buttons? So what is the purpose of using each of these elements? And when you're designing an app or a product, use the relevant element there, because each element has a default behavior which resonates with the assistive technology being used by people with disabilities. So a radio button behaves in a different way than a checkbox when I use a screen reader. Being a person with vision impairment, I use a screen reader to work with computers. So my screen reader understands when a radio button is used, it has to behave in a different way. So understand the ways an element can be used. And we should encourage these workshops and more such changes in the curriculum from the start, so that our youth understands the importance of, making digital content more accessible. Um, and this message has to be definitely taken to the colleges and schools, because nowadays computer education is started pretty early, I think, from the schools itself. So we should talk to schools and colleges, give them a chance to pair up with persons with disabilities, understand the various assistive technologies in place and how people use them, so that when they become developers tomorrow, they do know that the different the variety of users, the people who use their products. And of course, whenever a product is being designed, end users, which includes persons with disabilities, should be involved in planning such products in every stage of development of such products, so that you get those insights which are required at all times, and you can make immediate changes when required. So I will end with a strong message saying we have to work with the youth more often, reaching out to engineering colleges and other colleges, schools especially, and to make them aware of the situation. And kids are very, very special and very clever and intelligent. We do not have to give them the solutions, they will definitely come up with brilliant ones. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and thank you again, once again. Over to you, Atul.
Atul,
Atul, are you there? Okay, the next speaker is Kavya. She's been here for twice before also. So I'll request Hazel to give her introduction. Really enjoyed your talk, Kameshwari. Lots of love.
Thanks, Pooja. Thank you so much for that.
Hi, Pooja. This is Mrs. Gopal. I just wanted to make a few short, small comments with respect to Kameshwari's lovely talk.
Ma'am, I'll have to request you to wait for all the speakers to get over, please.
Sure, sure.
Thank you.
Pooja, can I give the introduction about Kavya?
Yes, please start.
Hello, everyone. Today we are meeting someone who proves that design is not just about buildings, it's about people, dignity, and change.
From Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, meet Kavya Poornima Balajepalli, an architect, researcher, and universal design advocate. She is the founder of Poornamidam and IIH Warriors India initiatives that connects accessibility, environmental justice, and disability rights through research, advocacy, and lived experiences. Kavya's work has shaped policy through the Charter of Demands of Disability Justice, access audits of sports facilities, and strong advocacy for inclusive education and climate action. Her public campaigns like Ink for Inclusion and We All Belong have promoted accessible elections and truly inclusive public spaces. Her impact has earned her the 15th NCPEDP Emphasis Universal Design Award 2024, along with honors from CRED AI, like Young Indians, Visag City Police, and Andhra Pradesh Disability Welfare Department. Through her practice, she empowers disabled and vulnerable communities, influences architectural curriculum, advocates for IIH patients, and brings visibility to invisible disabilities with evidence based research. Wow, I'm already excited and I'm filled with goosebumps to invite Kavya onto the stage, who is a trailblazer who turns vision into action. And we all talk and blabber about so many things, but not put things into action. So here is an inspiring person to talk with us. I kindly invite Kavya to take over, please.
Yeah, thank you so much for that lovely introduction. And I'm glad that I'm back collaborating with MSSI again for this year's International Youth Day. And even I was listening to the entire bio that you were sharing, and I was just thinking about, like, I was just reflecting on the entire timeline and the evolution that happened throughout the day that I started my baby steps into this journey, and how it it kind of shaped the entire thing. So maybe I would currently, like, post like the introduction, I was just thinking about sharing a few instances from my journey, being a person with disability, like a little backdrop of who I'm and the condition I live with and everything. Mm. So hi, I'm Kavya Poornima. I'm from Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. I'm an architect. I completed my graduation from the University of Mumbai, and I'm the founder of Poornamidam. It's an initiative that uh, works at the intersection of sustainability and inclusion. And I'm also the founder of IIH Warriors India. So now, what is IIH? So the condition I live with is idiopathic intracranial hypertension. It's a rare neurological condition, and that induced blindness in my condition. So I'm a person with visual impairment. So maybe going back to 2017 when it all started, like how the entire exposure of mine happened with the disability community is something which I would like to share very quickly. So I lost my eyesight during my final year of architecture when I was at the age of 21. And it was all sudden, like I lost my eyesight overnight, and it was fulminant IIH. So IIH itself is a rare condition which mimics brain tumor. The symptoms, everything mimics brain tumor. And I was also earlier, like during the diagnosis process, I was also misdiagnosed with MS. And again, somehow I came to the bracket of IIH. So there, that was the initial phase where I was introduced to the world of neurological conditions and many other disabilities that are mimicking and very much similar. And it was a struggle to first navigate this transition phase of my life with blindness and a neurological condition. It's not the same for everybody. Like a person with blindness, reasonable accommodations are different, and mine are different because mine is a combination of things. So understanding this is something which happened with acceptance, and slowly moving forward, I continue to learn about the condition to manage it better. And while doing so, there was no information provided. What we usually do is we Google, and during that time, there was no authentic information, reliable sources available, and there was no support system in place in India, or maybe in the entire Asian context. There was an international group that we could find, and from there, I was wondering that how a person in India can relate to the experiences that are there from across the globe. And that's where the initiation of IH Warriors India started. And I initiated that support group. It's a peer support group with hardly like 3 people. And now we are 120 people from across India. So it's been like 7.5, 8 years. So I'll be celebrating my anniversary of IIH on 12th of August. So it's like coincidentally, it's the International Youth Day. So I just wanted to share all of this because I kind of, when I was listening to the entire work that I have been doing, I was also reflecting on how this entire journey started and the barriers that I face personally, as I wanted to relate it with the theme that we are talking about, accessibility, removing barriers and creating possibilities, like how I created my possibilities and how I shaped the entire journey. So it was tough. The initial phase, it was all about how I'll again resume my studies back into architecture as a student. So my journey started as a person with disability when I was a student. From there, how I navigated and how I build a career in this spectrum of I mean, I just got lost at the initial phase, and slowly I fought with the university, and there were many denials to take me back for the readmission process. As I'm a person with blindness, I can't continue in the architecture fraternity, as it's basically a visual centric subject. And you can't see, so you can't design, and you can't you if we allow you, you may end up creating disasters. So who will be responsible? The college will face that, and maybe the university will be also put into trouble. So we won't encourage such. So this was kind of the initial backlash that I faced, and then slowly we fought with that, and then I continued my studies back and slowly completed my architecture post blindness. And in between, COVID happened, and it was another juggle of digital accessibility. It was not just physical, but also digital. So all of this taught me a lot. It was a learning process. It taught me and my caregivers, because they were the constant support system that I had: my parents, my siblings, everybody else, and a few dear friends who really supported me in the journey to continue architecture. So completed my graduation. What next? Like everybody asks you after completing something, then what next? So then it was like, okay, I completed, but how I'll be building career in architecture? I really wanted to do that. And everybody was suggesting me to switch career and move to some other stream where it will be easy for me. Like maybe teaching blind students music or art would be a better choice for me given my condition and complexities. But I really wanted to explore this stream of architecture because I was passionate about it. I didn't know how to do it because there was no set example, and I was navigating the entire thing all alone. So I started paving my own path. Maybe I thought that I'll give it a try. If it is not working out, then I'll think of um, choosing something else. So then, slowly, how practicing architecture requires you to be on site, and your physical presence is very much required, and all the support system needs to be in place, and you need to be also well versed with the softwares for designing and planning. And the area where the lens that I was looking at is that why only this kind of architecture is being practiced, the conventional method. Why not unconventional ways are explored? Maybe writing could be one thing, maybe policy making could be one thing, academia could be one thing, maybe research could be one thing. So I started exploring that part of architecture, sitting on to like maybe the other side of the table. And I also got backlashes from my own fraternity of architecture. A lot of insecurities happening around. And when I was introduced to the disability community, first I entered the blind community, and there through the rehabilitation, I met few people, and they were also not supportive enough to encourage me in this stream. Then I was like, I felt left out. Then I slowly entered the disability community, and there also I felt left out because of the complexity I was dealing with. Nobody were understanding that way, and slowly I realized that it's actually within me that I need to be vocal about my condition, my reasonable accommodations. Nobody knows about it, so I can't expect that everybody will be um, like aware of it and will be welcoming. So these I mean, this is the entire journey that happened. This is the backdrop of how it all started and how I entered the space. And then when I entered, I actually initially thought that I'm an architect, I'm well versed with the designing part, and I was also experiencing a lot of barriers when I was accessing hospitals and healthcare systems everywhere, basically the infrastructure. So I thought it would be a better way where I can bring my user experience and my technical expertise together, blending, and then I can offer something. When I entered the space, I understood that there were many gray spaces. It was not just that okay, I'll be implementing retrofitting and job is done. It's not that. I need to also understand how it will be designed from the right, from the initial phase, right from the beginning. Then I also had this experience as a student of architecture that we were never taught about accessibility in our curriculum. So when there is nothing being taught to the student, how we can expect that the student will be practicing accessibility on ground? So then this journey again expanded, and then the research expanded towards addressing these gaps in the curriculum. So a positive move in this direction after 3 years of juggle with the research is that key with the Council of Architecture, who offers the registration for all the practicing architects in India. There is an MOU that was signed in between the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Department of Persons with Disabilities, and Council of Architecture to train all the practicing architects on universal accessibility standards. So this became a mandatory thing, and now in phases the trainings are happening. So this is a positive move with little contribution from my end also, that there were many people maybe trying from their end, but then the push happened during my advocacy that there was an MOU in between these two entities. So that was a positive move, right? Which really boosted my I mean, earlier I was like, I'm doing this, but then there was nobody talking about it. So I was maybe introspecting and was in the dilemma that I'm not navigating in the right direction, maybe. But then later I understood that things need time to get implemented on ground, and I'm uh, I'm I'm doing it in a very niche area which was never touched. So it will require more time to really reach out to masses. So maybe I'm the one who's beginning something in this direction. So let me continue to do, even though if people were not really understanding or not encouraging or not supporting. So that realization is something which I'm carrying, still carrying with me. And now coming to the other barriers I was talking about. So I work with the district administration as a subject matter expert in the district level committee on disability. So this is chaired by our district magistrate of Visakhapatnam, and we have all the department heads sitting in the committee. So these people, what they do is they work on the policies towards disability inclusion. So this is also a mandate under the RPWD Act, Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016. So I wanted to also emphasize this, that key wherever you are located, all the participants, whoever are sitting here, persons with multiple sclerosis, wherever you are located, just inquire about the district level committee on disability is being I mean, do your district has this? And if it is there, who are part of this from the disability sector? I mean, disability community, from the organizations, because it's a committee of some 35 to 40 individuals, and in this, all the 10 individuals, there like you need to be of the NGOs and the OPDs who are working with disability, and also a few subject matter experts who are well versed with the technicalities of disability. So just inquire about the district level committee is being formulated or not, and if it is formulated, is it active or not, so that you can also maybe through your journey of advocacy with MS, if you would like to like highlight or maybe take up some critical issues, maybe regarding the disability certification or something like that with the department, it would be a right channel. It would be an easy access where you could put forth your concerns. So that is one thing. So through this district administration collaboration that I do, a lot of barriers that I also face, that key there is a lot of hierarchy that is being set. Like there are many people who are seniors who are sitting in the disability sector, who are been working for maybe 30, 40 years now, and they are very much insecure to encourage someone young coming forward and putting forth their voicing out. So here also, when we are talking about youth, International Youth Day here, and we are talking about encouraging youth, there's no encouragement out there really, like, to be very honest. And if like I chose this direction to work, right? So whenever I attend and sit with someone who's older to me, some 20, 30 years older to me, next to them, I'm taking a parallel seat next to them, very much insecurity, and always there will be some, like if I start talking, I'll be shut. Okay, I won't be given time to put forth. So it's like there I understood that, okay, if this is not working out, what could be other way? Then I explored drafting, then I explored policy recommendation, so I started writing representations, and then I started putting forth with the government officials, and that is the clear way and direct way of addressing any gaps, is something which I figured out. And later part, once this the entire effort got something some like got the outcome in a positive direction. For example, in the Andhra Pradesh tourism policy of 2025, the recommendations that I provided, the all the policy recommendations that I provided were reflecting in the tourism policy. So that gave me another like recharge, that see, this is what I wanted to provide, these the same recommendations on table in front of the officials, but I was not given chance. So the other way to, like, maybe the better way to do it is through the policy recommendations. So what I wanted to convey through the entire journey that I'm like narrating now is that it's not only one way to address the barriers that we face on a regular basis. There are multiple ways, but only thing is we need to just remove that. Like we should not sit in that bubble and think that this is the only world that we are living. Or maybe I wanted to also give some, like, maybe a small example about this particular webinar also. So the post was put up on the social media, but it was not provided, like the image description was not provided, the alt text was not provided for the poster, and I was not tagged also. So I was not intimated that the webinar is happening, because I provided my information brief and the bio, everything, but I did not receive any confirmation from the other end, and I did not receive the meeting link also. And Amit, like, luckily I got the meeting link just half an hour before from Amit, and I was like, okay, it's happening. So the accessibility that we were talking on a broader lens, just narrow it down to this level. Maybe we can start it here and we can weave it around. That would be a better way to address it. And the other thing that I also wanted to share is that disability is not a homogeneous identity. Again, this is also with my own learning, that when I started interacting with my colleagues and my friends within the community, I understood that it's huge. It's a huge subject. You can't really limit it to one condition. Everybody has their own way of doing things, and they have their own reasonable accommodations and needs. So addressing all of this could be only possible through, from my context, I can say it's through universal design. We can um, address all, like not all. Again, here I don't agree all, because I also found many loopholes within this. There are many gray areas, but then majorly we can really address the issues of different like diversity within the disability through universal design. So maybe once we shift towards this direction, I also wanted to like take a reference from the earlier speaker. She was mentioning about the holistic way of approach that we carry for accessibility and reaching out to the schools and colleges. Yes, that is a very beautiful way where we can really put the seed there itself, and we can take it forward from like from there, and it will definitely have a huge impact, because I can also share from my own experiences with the campaigns that I took up. The Ink for Inclusion is something which I wanted to also share about last year for the elections, for inclusive elections. This is something which was not which was not which was not in the conversations earlier, but somewhere we thought that. I'm from Andhra Pradesh, and we were also having the state elections happening here. And there, I initiated, and I also took it up with the other states elections. And there was a positive move that happened with the arrangements that were in place for the election, the polling booths, and the process that has been involved. And with the We All Belong campaign that I launched, that also got traction within the government. And the private sectors. And another move that I wanted to share is with the blue flag beaches that I work with. So we have 12 blue flag beaches in India, and with the continuous and consistent advocacy that happened with the beach accessibility, that I took it up with Vizag and expanded it to Puri, Odisha, and other beaches across. Now, again, another positive move from the policy front is something which I wanted to highlight here is the international policy for blue flag beaches is under revision, and accessibility is being included in the revision. So earlier it was not there, but now it is being reflected in the international policy, which will, again, you will be experiencing this not just in India, but all the beaches across the globe. So these sort of moves that are happening is with not just with individual support, but with the collaborative effort. And the theme that for this year's International Youth Day is local action with the support of SDGs. And SDG 17 emphasizes the partnerships and collaborations. And here again, I'm back with MSSI with such a collaboration and partnership. And I really wish that this continues, and I look forward to many more with going forward with MSSI. And yes, I think if I'm given chance, I'll be talking a lot. So I really wanted to end it here. And maybe I'll address a few questions in the end. Yeah.
Thank you, Kavya, so much for your insightful thoughts about that. So our final speaker will be introduced by Dimple. Dimple has been mentored in the National Youth Wing and is from Hyderabad. Dimple, please introduce our third and final speaker, Amit. Over to you, Dimple.
Uh, shall I go ahead?
Yeah, please. Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Amit Palath here. I'm a person with multiple sclerosis, and I had a very late onset of my condition. Disability is something which I became aware only about 5 years ago. So I started using a walking cane only in 2020. So I was just going in the morning and checking out how many people are there in the world. Around 8 billion people. That is around roughly 800 crores. So why I'm bringing this figure up is because, there are around 16% of the population who have a disability. Now, when you say accessibility advocate, I am, is because this accessible feature is required for people with disability, people who are injured, old people, uh, uh, person who is pregnant. All these people need accessibility requirement. If it's possible, can I share some photos? Atul, can I share some
Yes,
photos? Yeah,
yes, Amit, please go ahead. Yeah.
I think it would make it more engaging. Uh,
Amit, how do you want to share photos? You want to share your screen?
can I
You didn't, you
put
didn't
on?
want to become a host, remember?
Okay. Then I'll just read up this particular thing. I'll get a description of the photos which I've taken. So some
So
of
you
the
want to go, share your screen.
I'll do
You can,
something. I'll just speak on this particular thing then.
okay,
The description of the photo I gave. Now,
okay.
one of the constant regular problems which I face is balance issues and walking gait issues and all. The problem is, even in my own flat, in my own apartment, if I have to go to the terrace, there is no railings which I can hold on to, because of which I even fallen down, which is pretty dangerous. And the thing is, railings, why it is just for the namesake, if you put up railings, that is not done. It has to be really sturdy so a person can hold on to it. Now, this so happened when I went to get a UDID card. UDID card is a unique disability ID card to a hospital. The railings which were there were not sturdy. So when I was holding on to it, it was kind of very shaky. So my father had to hold on to me to give me support. So this is a problem which we face regularly in even some of the premium apartments, even the government buildings, hospitals and all, which I have personally faced. And also, one of the other things which is there, the walls are kind of, you're not able to hold on to the walls, because in India people have this habit of spitting on the walls and all. Or even for that, the handle which you're holding on to, that was also spit in the hospital where I went to for the UDID card recently, just about 7 months back or something. So this is one of the problems. If it was possible, I would have shown some photos. I had taken some photos on this. Other thing I would like to say is that even in the hospital where I gone for treatment, it didn't have it just two stairs which I had to walk up. But unfortunately, there was no railing available for me to hold on to. Now, for a person with multiple sclerosis, especially a progressive condition of multiple sclerosis, I know for a fact, even taking two steps is very difficult in my case. So it so happened I fell down and I, hit my arms or something there. So this is something which is very important. You have to take care that railing should be available in all these places. I conducted an audit of PVR cinemas recently, last month itself. One of the things which I saw there is that there was no railings again for a person to walk upstairs. I had to take the support of my dad in order to walk up the steps. Now, this I'm talking about a very premium theater. So, money is not an issue in those kind of places. If you look at the government institutions, that these things are sorely lacking. And the other thing is, I don't usually go to the theaters or cinema experiences because I had to use the washroom on a frequent basis, at least in 3 hours or something. Now it so happens generally people, the whatever the toiletries which are there, the places, the washrooms which are there, which are not disabled friendly. So there are nothing to hold on to. Now this luckily PVR had this particular thing. So I have to plan this beforehand, all these things, if I'm visiting a particular premises. Now, in this particular PVR premises cinema, when I went, I had to call up these people before that I'm visiting that place, and they made some arrangement. So, luckily for me, in that particular case, it was relatively fine. I got a wheelchair who had taken me from the parking slot to the cinema experience, the seat and all. But unfortunately, as I said, there was no railing available for me to hold on to. And also, one of the other main problems which people face, there are no ramps available. Even if you have a wheelchair, for a wheelchair to operate, you need a particular ramp. If there is a hindrance in between, it becomes very difficult for a person to operate on his own. So this is one of the problems which I face on a frequent basis. Toilet availability, railings, there's something to hold on to, ramps. And so these are some of the basic things which are to be taken care of. And also, I would like to remind all of you, get a UDID card. It makes life easier because you have a government kind of recognized certificate saying that you are a disabled person. In my case, especially, it is kind of very evident nowadays. But if something which is not very evident, which is the case with multiple sclerosis, a UDA card really helps. I think that's about it from my end. Any questions from me? You can please put it in the chat box. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you for uh, so insightful presentation about how we should be dealt and how the system should be. Uh, I would request everyone to on their videos so that we can have a group photo. Everyone, please. Yeah, thank you. Pooja ji would be taking the group photos, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. I would request.
Hang on.
Okay.
Just smile, please.
Smile, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you, everyone.
more people are coming in. Wait.
Yeah, more
There are
people
more
are.
of them joining. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. We should all be smiling in this photo. Yeah.
Yeah. Charu? Okay, waiting for Charu. Oh, there she is. Thank you, guys. I'll take one more for, to make sure we have the right one.
Yeah. So everyone can pose with their smile. Yeah.
Okay, before Jyoti gives a vote of thanks, I can see a very senior member who's been our strength and support. I can see Vivasha Gupta and Renuka Malekar. So, Renuka ma'am, can you please give us a small thing of how we did today? Ma'am, you'll have to mute yourself. Renuka ma'am, please mute. Unmute, sorry.
I have my pet screaming, barking away. So I was trying to put him in the room, and her mother has come. So obviously. So okay. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, Pooja. I think it's a wonderful webinar that you guys did. And I did hear Kavya mention that it's action. The SDG goals 17 is about action with the local community, local groups. And I think the only takeaway that I have from this webinar for myself, though I'm not a youth, but I think all of you will also go for that, important takeaway is connect with your local groups. Sorry. all of you should connect with your local groups, policymakers, committees, and that way you will be able to bring action. Action is also very, very important. Youth is the future of the country. We have heard that right from when we were in school. We lived being youths, and we have now transitioned into much senior people, experienced old, vintage, whatever. But I think this was wonderful. And all the speakers were very, very succinct and crisp with clear takeaways. So thank you very much. More power to you guys and lots of good wishes. May MSSI National Youth Wing really continue to achieve greater heights. It's back to you, Pooja. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Bivasha ma'am would like to say something.
So glad to be with you people. Youth Wing, I really appreciate your effort, and please be continuous about it, and please project yourself all the time and take it further. Not only on the screen, not only during the webinar, and just keep talking about it till it reaches the right ears. As I've said, we have done some of it from Delhi chapter. Of course, Prabal Malika was really doing a lot of things. I stayed in Taj in somewhere in Jodhpur, and I realized in the hotel I was put in a room, disability free, and when I came back and shared that, okay, the bathroom was like this, Prabal said, oh, I got it done. I was so proud. You see, we should be able to, with a little efforts, we should be able to do these kind of things. The hydraulic lift at Delhi PVR was also done by us. We take 100 people each time. For a movie show, it is possible because of this. Once in a year we take, and keep doing little things. It'll all add up and it'll form the ocean. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am. Jyoti?
Yes, thank you, Pooja. Hi, everyone, and good evening. My name is Jyoti, and I am an MSP from Mumbai. What an inspiring session this has been. My personal takeaway is that accessibility is not a checkbox to tick or an afterthought. It has to be introduced at the start to foster inclusivity without compromising design. This webinar has held as a part of International Youth Day, truly celebrated the power of young people to create change. I would like to thank everybody who made this session possible. Thank you to our amazing speakers, Architect Kavya, Mrs. Kameshwari Rao, and Mr. Amit for sharing your powerful insights and personal stories. It was truly inspiring for all of us present. Thanks to all our lovely audience for your participation and engagement. Our senior members, Arun, Dimple, Pooja, and Sanket, your belief in Amit, Hazel, Atul, and myself kept the momentum going. Venki and Javed, thanks for the promotion and design support for this event. Thank you to the National Youth Wing online events team for bringing fresh ideas, energy, and endless enthusiasm to every stage of planning. Thanks to all the endless warriors who inspire us to keep working towards a more accessible and inclusive world. And thanks to our host, Atul, for keeping the session lively and engaging. As we wrap up today's session, let's remember accessibility is about respect, inclusion, and equal opportunities for everyone. Thank you, everyone, once again, and we look forward to seeing you in the future events.
Your questions, I'm trying to answer those. One question was from a girl, Harshita. It's for insurance. We can't answer it here as of now. MS has no insurance. We are trying to do advocacy with the government for it. So you'll have to wait. Then one question is from Charu. Charu, your disability, you're right. UDID card has 40%. If you don't have 40%, they will not give it to you. But in most cases, we reach 40% very soon. So hoping you don't reach that. But for UDID, 40% you have to have.
Yes, Pooja, I had the same doubt. Sorry to interrupt. And I have tried to get the UDID card or two, but then too much complications. This is like, I have issue of nystagmus. I couldn't see.
Hazel,
And
call me, I'll tell you.
okay, perfect. That sounds
Okay.
fine. Good. Thank you.
Yeah. Anjali, you had a question?
No, actually, I had an answer to Charu's question, but I
Okay.
think you guys can take it offline.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Any other questions, guys? Okay, Atul, very good, well done. Hazel and Jyoti, I'm so proud of you. Thank you, lots of love, and bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Everyone.
Bye.